This morning to review the papers are broadcaster Pete Price and academic and writer Dr. Mo Lovett. It's great to have both of you here with us bright and early this morning. Let me just start off with you then, Pete, because that bright pink is absolutely winning in my books. And we're looking at a story from the front page of the Sunday Telegraph there, and this is a very interesting one. London set for influx of bankers from New York and Edinburgh. It's almost as if they've heard a rumour about some sort of tax cuts.
It's incredible. Droves of them are coming, according to the paper. By the way, good morning, ladies, and good morning, viewers. Droves of them are coming here. But first of all, why do they have to come here? I thought everything was done on a computer, so I'm quite surprised about that, but we're hoping they're going to come over. The public will not be in the slightest interested in this story because they've been inundated all weekend with the fact that bankers are doing so well and it's the rich and the poor, so they won't be in the slightest bothered. I think it's a great idea if the bankers are coming and spending money here and not taking their money out and bringing their children to be educated here and spending the money to live here. But what is fascinating, our top rate is 40%. And in Scotland, in Edinburgh, it's 46%. So Nicola Sturgeon is going to be in a little bit of quandary. So are they going to come down from Edinburgh and move into London? But honestly, I mention this story because we've heard so much about the bankers. How important are these bankers? How many of these bankers come in, take, and then clear off again? It's a minefield, but they're coming in droves, apparently.
I was just thinking, do they just kind of pace themselves, poised, ready to move whenever any sort of benefit comes through? Oh, the stress of being a millionaire banker. Let me just move through to you there, Dr. Mo. Good news for the bankers. That's fantastic, splendid. But actually, Liz Truss may get a dose of reality when it comes to the red wall seats. This is the front page of The Observer.
Yeah, so what the Observer is saying, that Liz Truss has been warned that she risks abandoning this winning coalition of the Red Wall voters amid concerns that this mini-budget really disproportionately benefits more traditional Conservative heartlands. And I think the Resolution Foundation's response to the mini-budget, well, it's a budget really, isn't it, not just a mini-budget, is that households in London and the South East will benefit 3 times more than householders where Peter and I live, and in the Midlands and in the North, so that it's really shifting away from that levelling up agenda, which really secured those kind of red wall voters at the last election. So there's concerns about this. I mean, let's be honest, it's good that we're talking about economic growth. You know, whether you're a fan of Adam Smith or Karl Marx, we need to grow the economy in order to decide how to distribute the wealth. So that's a good thing. But I think, you know, just judging from friends I've got, you know, much more working class people are much more concerned about this budget than my wealthy middle class friends are. So I think that's a real problem. I think the other thing about the budget is there's an awful lot resting on this growing the base rate to 2.5% in such a short time, because don't forget we've got a general election within 2 years, so that's an awful lot of proof of pudding to happen in the next 2 years. So whether it will work in terms of stimulating the economy is a question we'll wait and see. But it does seem to me that that there's an awful lot riding on this 2.5% growth rate in a very short space of time.
And moving away from politics, then let's come to COVID, because actually a lot of people may have forgotten that we even once upon a time the world was gripped by COVID. And I'll come to you on this here, Pete, the front page of the Mirror there, and this is Harry Redknapp talking about his wife and just the struggles that she had.
Yeah, and he's a bit of a national treasure, is our Harry. And Sandra is a lovely lady. I met them a couple of times. They're nice people. The point he makes in this, he's got a new book out, Harry Meets Sandra. It comes out on Thursday. But I picked this story on purpose because we must remember about COVID. I've just had my 4th jab, and it has not gone away. Sandra was struggling with breathing, and she had to write, according to the article. She had to write little notes of communication. Everybody has dealt with COVID. I've had it twice. Once I was very, very poorly with it. And it hasn't gone away. And these disbelievers and these conspiracy theorists who are still causing mayhem on social media and frightening people, it has not gone away. The book's going to be a great read because they're nice people, Sandra and Harry. But I wanted to pick this story to remind everybody about those jabs. If you get the chance, please have them, because without the jabs, we wouldn't have been where we are today. Love or hate Boris and the government, they made us get them, and it's helped.
Absolutely, and I love what you said about Harry Redknapp. I love the way he talks about his wife. He seems just to be absolutely besotted with her. And if my husband doesn't talk about me like that, I'm taking him back to the shops. You can go, okay? So let's go. I'll come to you, Dr. Mo Lovett. I'll come to you with this next story here, which is an interesting one, actually, because this is the front page of the Sunday Times. Truss's plans for more migrants to boost growth. Many people just waking up right now, looking at this headline, will be absolutely confused, because isn't this the party of Brexit? What is going on? I mean, we know Liz Truss has changed her mind, well, many times on a few things, including on Brexit, but this is quite astonishing, really.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how you look at the Brexit vote. I mean, there were a lot of us arguing that actually you could boost immigration from the rest of the world, not just from the EU. So I think there was that liberal argument for Brexit. But you're right, it's unsettled Brexiteers within the cabinet, Kemi Badenoch, Jacob Rees-Mogg, Suella Braverman. And there's talks of a kind of first kind of cabinet fight back against this policy. So what Liz Truss wants to do, she wants to open up immigration, particularly in terms of rolling out fibre broadband, which the government's committed to doing to, I think, 85% of the country by 2025. So she wants to bring in more kind of skilled engineers. And the other thing is that to kind of lessen the language impact, so that more people who English isn't a first language can come to the UK. I think you can understand why some Brexiteers are concerned about this. I think, again, it's a little bit of a kick in the wall for the Red Wall, if I'm honest, because what I said earlier about trying to increase growth so quickly in such a short space of time, that doesn't allow you the kind of long-term investment in skilling British workers and upskilling them to do the jobs and to help with unemployment in this country and the labour shortage. So I think, again, it's a problem for working class voters, particularly those who put their faith in the 2019 Conservative government. But obviously we do have labour shortages, so it is one solution, but it's quite interesting that just, so short a time into the job, Truss is already causing waves within her own cabinet. So we wait and see, I guess.
Absolutely. And coming to you then, Pete, the front page of the Daily Mail there, no shocker, because they do have an obsession with Harry and Meghan. So let's look at the latest obsession. So this is the fact that Harry is set to make some sort of changes, is he, to his memoir following the Queen's death?
This is explosive. Harry and Meghan and the publishers will not have experienced anything like the changes because of losing the lovely Queen. And if there's one word in these memoirs, which she's getting £40 million for, apparently, if there's one word against the Queen, I think it will be the biggest backlash ever. But can you imagine behind the scenes? I know when my autobiography came out years ago, the costings, and I was nothing, just, I think I got threatens for it. But the publishers, the printing, the costings of that, it'll be interesting to know if they're going to renegotiate his contract for the 40 million, because I can't imagine the cost. So, I mean, they'll have to think of every single word. I think we were astounded by the love for the Queen. We knew she was loved, but not like this around the world. So I think Harry and the publishers have got a little minefield on their hands, and I bet they're going through every single word now, because the one thing the papers will pick up, especially this paper, they'll go for them if they get one chance.
Absolutely. And also you kind of hope that what's reflected really is the love that Harry and the Queen had, because they seem to have a very, very close relationship, and you hope that that trumps everything, really. I'll come to you there, Mo, with the front page of the Sunday People. So this is very heartwarming to see these men back on UK soil. So Brits, prisoners of war, freedom. I'm loving it. This headline's quite funny. A bit of Mackie D's in there then, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Sean Pinner, who, as you say, has been freed. He was a prisoner of war. He was taken captive in Mariupol 6 months ago, back in April. And if you remember, sentenced to death by kind of sham Russian court in the Donetsk region. And he's free and he's back home. And one of the first things he wanted to do was, as you say, go to Mackie D's and get himself an egg McMuffin, which is a lovely story. And if you look inside the paper, you'll see a picture of Sean just before he went to Ukraine, looking a lot beefier than he does now. Obviously, he looks a lot thinner, and he's obviously endured some terrible experiences there, which no doubt we'll hear more about. So yes, he started off with the Mackie D. His mum said, "Are you sure? You haven't eaten very much for a long time." He said, "No, I'm sure." And then in the evening, apparently, he had steak and a glass of wine. So good on you, Sean, and welcome home.
Absolutely. There's a man after my own heart. He's got great taste, because, I mean, who doesn't like an egg and sausage McMuffin, eh? Pete, great story this, isn't it, really? Just very quickly, we're running out of time, but how fantastic to have them back on UK soil.
It is indeed. It's fantastic. But if it had been me, it definitely would not have been an egg McMuffin. It would have been Sunday roast, 2 veg, lots of roast potatoes and thick gravy.
Do you know what? I'm not mad at you for that. I am not mad at you for that. That all sounds very good. Thank you very much. We'll come back to you in the next hour, so we'll see you very soon. And we'll see you after this break.